Hi, I'm Andy, and with 4 other tenants, we put together an application for the Tenants Excellence Fund so that we could show tenant co-regulation in practice. Soha is widely acknowledged for being good with tenant involvement. In a recent short notice inspection, Soha got the top possible marks for the way they involve residents. Today, I'm going to show what co-regulation means at Soha. Soha is run by a board of 12, and 4 of them, including the chair, are tenants. Our tenant members are elected by our tenant forum, a group of 21 elected tenant representatives. To explain our co-regulation model, we like to compare it with Westminster. Our board is the cabinet and our tenants forum are the MPs, who hold the board to account. Today in here we have Carol, who's chair of the board, and Vic, who's chair of our tenants forum.
Come in.
So Vic, what are you meeting about today?
Well, Carol and I are just trying to see what's coming up over the next few months in order that we can get the agendas to line up between the tenants forum and the board, in order for the forum to see the policies and do approvals or rejections before it goes to board.
The board as a whole wants to know what tenant involvement there has been before they will approve a paper.
And Carol, how did you get involved?
It was an accident almost, Andy. I was invited to come along to a tenants forum meeting and I was too polite to say no. But my problem was, I think, that I didn't understand what resident involvement was or what I could achieve by being involved. Luckily I persevered because well, it's been 11 years now since I've been on the Tenants Forum. All the things that I've done with Soha has allowed me to chair both the forum and the board. I gained skills and the confidence to do that, and I've spoken at conferences, and I would never have achieved any of that without the things that I have done with Soha.
Our portfolio holders act much like cabinet ministers, with responsibility for a particular area of our work. Today, Valerie, portfolio holder for customer services, is meeting with Maureen, director of customer services and operations.
Put up a chair and join us.
Yes, thanks very much. Well, Valerie, what are you doing today?
We're looking at the customer service call handling. Most tenants, as you know, contact Soha by phone, and it's important that they can get through quickly and their calls aren't rushed, and their figures are looking very good.
So then what difference do you think it makes that people like yourself does the portfolios for Soha?
Well, it means that we keep the tenants forum informed, and also the fact that one person just sort of deals with the service area so that somebody has always got more information. The forum can then hold Soha to account. You can actually feel that you're doing something and you have a grasp on what's going on. And the more knowledge the forum has, the better off we are, aren't we, really?
Following on from that, Maureen, as Director of Customer Services, what do you get from people like Valerie being portfolio holders?
Well, it's very important that we can speak to our customers about the service, because it does change on a frequent basis. We can get up to 500 calls a day, so we need to make sure we're managing those calls very well. But we also try and look forward and think, what could we do to improve the service? And the people that are best placed to advise us on that are our tenants.
Our equivalent of the government's select committee is the Scrutiny Group. This has 12 members, half are on the Tenants Forum and half who aren't. Let's go and pay them a visit. You're a recently formed group. Can you tell me what difference you make to Soha?
Well, what we see as our role is adding the tenants dimension to the board's thinking and decision making.
The Scrutiny Group fits in with the co-regulation model as a critical friend that challenges Soha from the strategic level, forward thinking, right through to the operational level. So actually we all work together and we make recommendations, and those recommendations are followed because we are the service users, we are tenants. So that is the best perspective that Soha can have as a housing provider organisation.
And Margaret, why do you want to be involved?
And I started to realise that Soha's reports, recommendations from the tenants, from surveys, were actually being put into effect So I joined a couple of committees. Anything we put forward, we know it will be listened to, we know where appropriate it will be used, and it will affect any future plans and will improve quality of life. And I'd like to think that I can be some small part of that.
So Nazreen, is there any board members on the Scrutiny Group?
No, there isn't, Andy. Today, for example, we've got Richard here, our Chief Executive, and we've been discussing the feedback from the board meeting that took place at the end of March.
And Richard, you're Chief Executive to Soha, and what difference have these tenants made to our organisation?
Firstly, helping us improve service delivery and check that we actually deliver what we say we'll do. Secondly, we charge rents, and we take government money to provide new homes. So we need to be accountable to our residents and the communities where we work. And resident involvement helps us deliver that accountability, helps us demonstrate that accountability.
Tenant inspectors act as our own audit commission. There are 17 of them, and today I'm going to visit 3 of them.
Good morning, Andy.
Not too bad, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Enjoying the sun?
And what are you inspecting today?
Well, we're checking that the recommendations we made to improve the communal areas have been followed through.
And it's really important, Andy, that we follow up on inspections and ask Soha what they've actually done.
So Alvina, why did you choose to inspect this area?
Well, we like to choose an area for the tenants.
And you choose that?
Yes, we choose it.
Soha has no input into it, so it's solely your...
No, it's solely us. We choose what we want to inspect.
So Frida, what difference do you think you've made doing these tenant inspections? And can you give me one example of it, please?
Oh yeah, I could give you 60, because that's the number of recommendations that we've made since we began the tenant inspections, and they've all been actioned. On the voids inspection, we found that there was nothing to guide a tenant on what standard they could expect. So there's now a leaflet left with what they should expect of the property when they move in. And if they do encounter any problems, it makes it much easier for them to raise the issues.
Of course, many tenants don't have the time to join our formal group and attend meetings. With this in mind, we have a range of different involvement options that are less of a commitment but equally important. For example, our mystery shoppers check Soha's response to customers by phoning, emailing, writing or visiting. Their feedback is used to make improvements. So, if you don't mind me asking, why did you want to become a mystery shopper?
Well, I saw an advert and Home Talk about it, and as a busy mum, it seemed the easiest way for me to get involved without taking up too much of my time.
And what difference do you think mystery shopping has made?
I think we've made a difference, and we mystery shopped our out-of-hours service, and we found out that there was quite a few problems. After that, Soha worked really hard with them to help them improve the way they answered their phones, and then we recently shopped them again, and the service has improved. So that's what really matters, making things better for tenants.
So you do make a difference then?
I think we do, yes.
Our representative groups are a bit like the groups that lobby Parliament. We've got an Access for All group, a Seniors group, and we've just established the Soha Youth Links. And my last meeting of the day is with Jackie and Charlie, who are here to discuss what young people's involvement is going to be within Soha. So Jackie, can you tell me how the young people are involved within Soha?
At the moment, we've got a youth forum, but it's been quite hard work keeping the youth forum going, so I'm looking at ways of restructuring it so they can tell us about the issues where they live. So the first thing we did was the Soha Youth Talent Show, and that was open to all young people across South Oxfordshire, but it gave us the opportunity to raise our profile and to let young people know that we were interested in their views. And one of the things that came out of it was a boot camp project, and we built relationships with those young people, and 4 of them came onto our youth forum.
Charlie, what have you personally got out of being involved with young people within Soha?
I was originally involved with the annual report. They asked a group of us to be involved and design our own page about the involvement in the youth talent contest, and I wrote the introduction to it. It's helped me develop confidence and make a lot of friends.
One last group to mention is our Liaison Group. We've got a lot going on, and they make sure that every group knows what the other group is discussing. This communication between the groups is vital and keeps all of us focused. So that's our model for co-regulation. We've been working towards it since 2006 when we first introduced tenant inspectors. We now have 42 tenants involved in co-regulation and lots more involved elsewhere. We've never looked back.